Stratified sampling is one of the probability sampling method. So, stratified sampling we need to understand. So first point, why stratified sampling is required. For understanding the stratified sampling method, first we begin from simple random sampling, which does not take into consideration any information that is known about the elements of population. So we need to understand here elements of population, and that might affect the characteristics of interest. And under this sampling scheme, it is also possible that particular subgroup, so population subgroup of the population, would not be represented in a given sample purely by chance. So, for understanding these things, we need to understand the example. For example, when selecting teenagers in India, for instance, we might not choose any 17-year-old males. This could occur merely as the result of sampling variation. So, if we feel that it is important to include 17-year-old males, we can avoid this problem by selecting a stratified random sampling. So now, how to begin? For stratified random sampling method, we can understand starting from strata. So strata, why we are going to convert the strata for that point of view? Because we are going to take the total population. So total population, out of total population, we try to find out the target population. For target population, we select the sample. So here total total population total population, or we can say target population, then study population, and study population we select the sample. For this understanding, because the target population is the heterogeneous group, if we have a heterogeneous group and we are converting heterogeneous to homogeneous, for that point of view we need to convert the different strata. So for strata, like our strata might consist of various combination of gender and age in terms of the our example like teenagers. So first strata would be 15 years old males, and second strata 15 years old female, third strata 16 years old males, and in continuation females, and subsequent for 17 years will take the males and 70 years for females. These are the individual strata, and if we are considering all the strata like this one, so it is called the stratum. Number of the strata, we can say it is the stratum. For each strata, we have a homogeneous group of the population. For each strata, we have homogeneous group of the populations like that. So, for each strata, we have a homogeneous group of the population, and between the strata, like this to this, heterogeneous of the population. So, within a strata, and between strata we need to understand. So under this method, we divide the population into each distinct subgroups, or we can say strata, and for that each stratum we can say, and size is NH. NH means each each individual strata. So 1, 2, 3 up to H, and we are counting all the population, uh, considering the each individual strata. So it would be the ENH population, total population we are talking here. So for getting this, we can go ahead for next point, which is the important steps. A separate simple random sample of size ENH is then selected from each stratum, and resulting in a sampling fraction is ENH. Sampling fraction means sample size and total stratum population size for the HF subgroup. So this method ensures that each stratum is represented in overall sample, and it does not require that all study units have an equal chance of being selected. So we need to remember few key points whenever we are going to apply the stratified sampling method. So for certain small subgroups of a population might be oversampled to provide sufficient numbers for more in-depth analysis. When stratified sampling is used, the population mean is estimated as a weighted average. This point we need to understand here, weighted average of the stratum specific sample means. In addition, the variance is calculated as a weighted average of the within a strata variances. The variances between study units in different subgroups do not make a contribution. For that point of view, we need to understand we can make the overall variance or standard deviation smaller by choosing subgroups, so that the study units within a particular stratum are as homogeneous as possible, like decreasing the within strata variances, and the units in distinct strata are as different possible, and increasing the between strata variances. And now point is, if the stratum specific sample sizes are chosen properly, the estimated mean of a stratified samples has a smaller variance and is consequently more precise than mean of the simple random sampling. So this is all about stratified random sampling